Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Coming to you live from behind the pine curtain, this is 903 Sports. We are back, baby. I'm your host, Cameron Brown, joined today by Hunter Shattuck, Mason Cudd, and Trent Sansom. We'll start today talking about March Madness and the great event that it was. This is one of the best March Madnesses I've ever seen. This is my favorite time of the year because you've got March Madness, and then right after that you've got the Masters. And this March Madness had a lot of cool stories and finished off with Villanova beating Michigan 79-62. Dante DiVincenzo, sixth man, putting up 31 points in the national championship. That kid is a plow. So, Cud, I'll start with you. Give me your best story from March Madness this year.
That's just too hard. This year, we've been talking about it the whole time of how incredible this tournament had turned out. And I mean, you could always say, the Loyola was, incredible, and that was, I'm pretty sure, everybody's favorite or most fun to watch run. But there was also some other teams that made some good runs. Like Nevada beat Cincinnati, and they were down 20. I don't know if y'all remember that game, but that was insane. And then that Loyola Nevada game, that game was unreal. So I don't know. I mean, there was just so many to pick from.
In my opinion, I think you have to go with UMBC, 16 seed, finally making it happen by beating 1 seed Virginia. And they ran them over, beat them by 20, a 29-2 Virginia team. And UMBC ran them out of the gym. So I thought that was cool. And then you could go with the huge Loyola run, making it to the Final Four. They had one heck of a year. And also, I also want to point out that, Villanova beat everybody by double digits this year. Every game they played in the tournament, they won by double digits. They had one heck of a year, and they got one heck of a team. So, Hunter, what about you think best story of March Madness this year?
I don't know, man. I'm going to go with Loyola, and I know that's like the simple answer, the easy answer. But, I mean, an 11 seed has made it to the Final Four, 3 times before this with LSU?
This was the 4th time. Yeah.
So, it felt different, though, because I remember when VCU made it in, 2011 or 12 or something. It didn't, I don't know, it didn't feel like they were, legit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But man, people were picking Loyola to beat Michigan. This wasn't just a fluke. It's not like I guess they did have a pretty easy run, but they looked good. It's not like they just kind of, lucked into a couple games and got some good calls and a couple bounces went their way. They won some close games, but who'd they beat in the Elite Eight? Kansas State?
Yes.
Yeah, they blew them out. And Kansas State's a good basketball team. And it honestly wasn't even a game. Loyola just completely dominated.
This was different to me because Loyola was a team that got an at-large bid. They had to get in by winning a conference.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
VCU got in because they were like a bubble team, and they got in as 11 seed. So Loyola was a pretty good basketball team. I mean, they only lost 5 games the whole season.
Yeah, they had won. I think they had won 14 in a row before they lost to Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, they were the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, it was just crazy to me. They had a buzzer beater to get out of the first round.
Yeah.
And they just get hot and make it all the way to the Final Four. But
you know what I thought was interesting was that Michigan didn't play a team that was a 5 seed or better until Villanova in the national championship game.
That was the first time ever that happened. A team that didn't play
isn't that
5
crazy?
seed. Yeah, that's unreal.
I mean, how much luck do you have to have for that to happen?
A lot of luck. But what about you, Trent? What do you think? Best story of the tournament this year?
Well, like you said, I mean, it's probably the most exciting March Madness that we've had in a while. There were so many stories like talking about Nevada coming back from 20 on Cincy. Well, the game before they played Texas and came back from 16. And then, like you said, UMBC winning. I think Virginia was the number 1 team. It wasn't a 1 seed. They were the best 1 seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, I mean, them beating them by 20. Loyola's run, coming back, and I think they had 3 comeback wins or two or three last second shot wins. Kind of cool to see Michigan. I mean, Houston had them dead to rights, and then Michigan goes on a run to go after they should have been put out in the round of 32.
Yeah, Houston had that game won.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I watched a lot of the rounds, a lot of the games around the 64 and 32 and the Sweet 16. But I got real busy with like the Elite 8 and Final Four came around. And so that's one of the games that I really enjoyed watching. But I think the best story for me, and it's not just what I think is like my favorite moment, but I think it's good for college basketball, is that Michigan and Villanova are the two teams that got to the finals. And they're showing you that you can do it with third and fourth year guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think college basketball, it might get back to, getting some, guys that stick around for 3 or 4 years instead of having all these one and dones.
Go ahead, Hunter. Go ahead.
Well, what I was just going to say is, like, I think I talked about this on, I don't know, a couple podcasts ago, like the middle of the season, but how Villanova just looks different. Like, we always talk about how the quality of basketball isn't as high, and we tend to blame the one-and-done rule, but who knows what the real problem is. But Villanova is legit. Like, they are a really, really good team. They don't play sloppy basketball. They're really well coached. They shoot the lights out. And, Trent, I think it's because they have, third and fourth-year guys. Like, they develop this team chemistry, and they know how to play together. They're not just a bunch of athletes playing like an all-star game together for 30 games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they go through several off seasons together in workouts and, off season practices and everything, and really train together and get better and root for each other year in and year out. And that's how you develop a culture like they have at Villanova.
Right.
And that's how you win championships.
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it's why Jay Wright got 2 of them in 3 years.
Yeah, and it won't be the last, I promise.
Yeah. I was looking at both their rosters, and I was just like, there was a breakdown. I was just looking online. There's a breakdown that had it broken down into like 5 different sections, and it had it labeled as 5 stars / All-American, McDonald's All-Americans, then 4 stars, 3 stars, and then it also had like the amount of seniors and juniors, and then the amount of sophomores and freshmen. And both those rosters had a good portion of juniors and seniors. And I don't think either Michigan or Villanova had a 5-star. I think Villanova might have had 1 5-star, and I think it was Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, Brunson was a McDonald's All-American.
Yeah, okay. I think that's the only one on the team. But then, they had a lot of 3-star guys with a couple, sprinkled with some 4-star guys. But like I said, I mean, they're all older people. They only had a couple freshmen. I think that's the way to create a championship team.
I agree. I think
run with.
I don't think the one and done works. I mean, look at Kentucky. I mean, Calipari's won 1 championship there.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, I think he's only been to the Final Four twice.
Yeah, and I think Duke's won 1 championship in the last however many 7 or 8 years with the one and done that they've been trying. Mm-hmm. And the year they won it, I think they had Quinn Cook and all those 3 and 4 year guys. Yeah. So I mean, it just seems like to me that those one and done schools play really well, but they always fizzle out in the tournament. Like Texas and Obama going out in the first round. Duke made a decent run to the Elite 8, but all the Final Four teams with Villanova, Michigan, Kansas, and Loyola Chicago, I don't think there was a single one-and-done kid on any of those teams.
Yeah, but you talk about Duke making to the Elite 8. They also had Grayson Allen, who's a senior. He was one of their best players, and he's a senior. And I know that he wasn't everything, and they still had some one-and-done guys. But if you have that senior leadership, then that, as one of your best players, that says a lot,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree. I think Duke's one-and-done guys are a little bit different than Kentucky's.
Yeah, I mean,
Kentucky starts 5 freshmen. I mean, it's gonna be pretty hard to make it to make a deep run with 5 freshmen starting.
There's a ESPN, I forget which one of the college basketball analysts said this, but the most important thing when trying to win a championship is past experiences. And I don't really know where he got this idea, but after he said that, I started thinking about it, and that's what. Like I said a second ago, that's what brings the team together, and you can't really perform under that amount of pressure all as a team unless you've been through something like that before. You know what I mean? And
right.
I think that's why we don't see any of the one and done teams really have much success. Even the great Kentucky team that was undefeated going into the Final Four didn't win a national championship, and that was probably the best college basketball team I've ever seen.
Right.
They were incredible, and they didn't win a national championship.
And this year, speaking of Kentucky, they had the easiest path to the Final Four of anybody, and they got beat by a lackluster Kansas State team, I thought.
Yeah.
So it just seems like, I mean, I can't remember of any team that was filled with one and done kids that won a national championship.
Yeah.
I mean, who won a national championship last year?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. They had Joel Berry was a junior. That the big kid,
Luke May.
Luke May Jr. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I love the fact that the basketball teams that have a lot of juniors and seniors are making big runs in the tournament.
Yeah.
Winning championships. I think it's cool to watch. And personally, I think Jay Wright right now is the best college basketball coach in the country.
In my mind, you're going to have a hard time making me believe he's better than Coach K, but he's right up there.
I mean, his last 5 seasons, I think the most games he's lost is 5 games.
That's so good.
That's stout. And
Man, there are some really good coaches right now in college basketball.
yeah,
And they're so good that I don't even think Calipari's like top 5.
he'd be right. He'd be right in there. I mean, he's still a heck of a coach.
I mean, he's a great coach, but I think he's more of a recruiter than he is a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he gets incredible players, but I don't really know how much he gets out of those players.
Yeah, that's true. But well, while we're talking about players, let's Hunter, give me the best player going to the NBA draft right now, coming out this year.
It's kind of on a down note, but man, if I had the number 1 overall pick, obviously it's kind of depending on what you need, but I'd pick DeAndre Ayton. I think he's probably the most physically impressive college player I've ever seen, at least like that I've watched with my own 2 eyes and not just seen highlights. I mean, just the way that I just look at the guy. I mean, you're telling me he can't play in the NBA? I think he has maybe the lowest risk. I don't know. But he looks like he can like physically dominate a game. And I know the NBA is moving away from that kind of postman, but I don't know. He looks legit. He's the real deal.
He looks like he's 35 years old.
Yeah.
I don't even think he's 20 yet.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What about you, Mason? What do you think? Best player going to the draft this year?
Before I tell you my draft pick, I want to go back to what y'all were talking about the teams of doing the one and done, and then versus a team that is building a team with, from freshman all the way to senior class, have a couple years under their belt and come back, like Hunter was saying, through those past experiences and coming together as a team. And what I really want to give props to Villanova, and it shows how good of all-around team they had this season, is that if I don't know if y'all noticed in the championship game, Jalen Brunson got early foul trouble, and they played their true freshman Colin Gillespie, their point guard, 16 minutes that game. So I thought that was a really big deal for them. That shows that they had so much trust in him, and I'm sure the rest of their guys. I mean, he played pretty big. He didn't shoot a field goal, but he came in, had 4 free throws, and 4 points, 5 rebounds, and assists in 16 minutes. So
yeah, and
I thought that was pretty big.
While Brunson was on the bench, I mean, he was up standing next to Jay Wright at times, like coaching the team from the bench. And and like I hate to be that guy, but I mean, you look at the stars in the NBA. Like, look at what John Wall is doing. Like, when he's out, and you look at him on the bench, he could be asleep behind those sunglasses for all you care. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, he couldn't care any less about what's going on the floor. And I get it's a national championship game, and John Wall's sitting on the bench in the regular season. But I mean, I just don't see any sort of. You just don't see that from a star player on the bench coming down the stretch. I mean, he was on the bench with 10 minutes to go in the game. And he's up there on his feet, cheering on his teammates, calling out plays. I mean, it was cool to watch. It was really cool.
Yeah, you love to see that. But anyways, my draft pick, I agree with you, Hunter, is DeAndre Ayton. He's so physically, dominant, and he's so big. He can rebound. He can score around the goal. I just think he's the best overall, in my opinion.
I'm going to go a different route. I think DeAndre Ayton's great, but I'm going to say Marvin Bagley III is the best player in this draft. That kid, he can do it all. He's got a lot of offensive skill. I think his offensive skill is better than Ayton's offensive skill is why I'd take him. But I thought he was the best player in the country all year. He's a big kid. He's going to be really good. He seems very mature, so I like him. If I had the number 1 pick, I'd take Marvin Bagley. What about you, Trent? What do you think?
Yeah, you can't go wrong with either one, but I'll go Bagley too. I would have said Ayton before I watched the tournament, but after watching Bagley play a couple games, because I just hadn't watched Duke play any games all year, and so after watching him play a couple games in the tournament, like you said, Cameron, he can just do it all. He has a nice shot.
He's got a really good shot.
In the paint. He's good. I think he's kind of more of the NBA type big man, whereas
Right.
Ayton's kind of like more of the big man of the past. But then again, I mean, Ayton is just a grown man, so I don't think he's wrong with either one of them. But I'll go with Bagley.
Another kid I really like is Michael Porter Jr. I know we didn't get to see much of him this year, but I really like that kid. He's got like that NBA type build. He's kind of got that like maybe just a little smaller Kevin Durant type build. Apparently, he's a really, really good shooter. I hate that we only got to see him play a couple games, but I like that kid a lot.
What do y'all know about that dude he's playing in Spain, the Luka Doncic?
I don't know much about him, but apparently he's supposed to be really good.
Everybody that I've heard talk about him has said that he's just like unbelievable, like can't miss in the draft.
Yeah,
like I've heard people say you take him number 1 overall.
Every
And-
mock draft I've seen, he's going top 3.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me because I watched his highlights the other day, or at least his highlight on one team, and his crossover just seemed super slow. Like he just seemed like that kind of move. It was nice in the Euro League, but it's not going to work in the NBA.
Well, like I don't know this. I find this kind of weird, but like you watch like James Harden highlights, and it looks like the dude's moving in slow motion, but people fall down. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, he does not look like he's moving very quick side to side, but it's for whatever reason, man, he just gets past people. And so maybe it's kind of one of those things, like, to the eye, it doesn't look that impressive, but when you're guarding him, you just can't stop it. I don't know, maybe.
I mean, just his moves to get space, I wasn't really impressed with as far as, like, comparing him to NBA talent. Like, obviously, like, I couldn't do this stuff. But, like, I will say he did have a real pretty shot. His release is just spot on.
I'm really curious to see how the draft works out. I think this draft has a lot of talent. A lot of talent.
Where does Trae Young go?
Probably late top 10, round anywhere from 8 to 10 probably.
Yeah,
I
the
could see
second
him
half.
going-
The second half, the lottery.
Yeah, going somewhere like Dallas or somewhere like that could use a point guard or just another shooter. But
Dallas just needs bodies.
yeah, Dallas needs a lot.
We need
a lot of those
people
players.
to put in uniform.
Exactly. But, well, let's move off college basketball. One more thing about that. Dante DiVincenzo, once again, that kid is a plow. His performance in the championship was unreal. That was so much fun to watch. I mean,
What
he
year
took
is he?
over
Do you
that
know?
game.
He's a redshirt sophomore.
Okay.
Nice.
He got hurt his freshman year, 8 games in, so he got a medical red shirt. So he came in the same grade with Jalen Brunson.
Okay. Cool.
Solid insight there, Sansom.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But all right, let's move on to Cud's Lost Soul of the Week. What you got for us, Cud?
Oh, this week we have LeBron James winning the Lost Soul of the Week for getting on to the man Nick Saban for doing absolutely nothing. I don't know if Trent or Hunter, you saw it, but me and Cameron were talking about it earlier. And basically, in Tuscaloosa, they have this new, it's called Shop Talk. And like ex-football players and players that play now and Nick Saban, like, chit-chat about past things in football and then things now. They just sit there and talk in a barbershop. That's all they do. I mean, they just spitball about, whatever's been going on. And LeBron got onto him saying that platform was for him and players in the NBA to speak their minds and all this kind of stuff, which is fine, but that has nothing to do with what Nick Saban and them were doing. So then they kind of had a little back and forth thing, but LeBron was being childish, and he said that at the end of the video that his lawyers would take care of it. And so I thought that was ridiculous.
That's very ridiculous. Yeah. LeBron's the princess of the NBA, man. I'm telling you.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
go ahead, Trent.
What I thought was real bad is I was listening to Herd, and they were talking about it today, and LeBron said that, his little his little barbershop type thing is for athletes to speak their mind, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The same thing Nick Saban's got going on is athletes speaking their mind.
exactly.
So, if he really cared about athletes, giving the athletes like a stage to speak their mind, like he should be encouraging Nick Saban. But see,
Exactly.
he didn't care about that kind of stuff. To him, it's all about the commercial, like all about the money. So
Exactly.
I don't know,
But-
man. I like LeBron, but that's so. I mean, that's just so weak.
Yeah, that was really sad. I mean, that's really pointless thing to have a scuffle about.
There's a little bit of respect for him, and I like him.
Yeah, but we got the NFL draft coming up, and we're just talking about the NBA draft. The NFL draft's in about 3 weeks, and everyone's talking about this is a quarterback-heavy draft. I've seen a lot of NFL mock drafts that have 4 quarterbacks going to the top 5. So, Cud, I'll start with you. Give me the best player in this draft that you think, and then give me the best quarterback in this draft.
Let's see. The best player. Let's see. Cleveland's got the number 1 pick, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then the Giants are at 2.
Yes.
Right. Okay. See, I think the Giants should take a quarterback because, Eli's kind of on his way out. They benched him this year and started Geno Smith. That's bad.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
Yeah. So, I think that they should take a quarterback. And honestly, out of the 4, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, and I'm forgetting one. Baker, yes, thank you. Out of all those, honestly, I'm just not sold on Josh Rosen. I think that any of the other 3, I think that Baker is going to be the last of the quarterbacks to be taken. But I think Darnold is the best, and Rosen, I would say, would be the worst. And I think the all-around best player, I think, might be Saquon, because I think that he could be another type of little glimpse of what McCaffrey did for the Panthers last season, and just catching balls out of the backfield and running it. And I think that Cleveland or the Giants or any of those teams could use a tool like that where they could put him in multiple spots and just use him as basically just a Swiss Army knife weapon.
Right. See, I think the best. I can't decide on a best player. I'm going to be like you, Mason, and not pick the best. But I'm going to say Minkah Fitzpatrick, Sam Darnold, and Saquon are the best players in the draft. I'm not sold on the quarterback. I'm not sold on the quarterbacks this year, guys. I'm not sold on Josh Allen. He's super inaccurate from what I saw in college and in the combine. And I'm not sold on Josh Rosen. He just kind of seemed like Jay Cutler to me. He doesn't seem like he has a burning passion from the game, but I don't know the guy, so I can't make that statement. But he seems like Cutler. I think Darnold's got all the talent in the world, but he's kind of young. He's only been in college for 2 years. And then you got, I think Baker is the guy. If I'm taking Darnold for his talent, but I really like Baker as well. He played college for a long time. He's a natural winner. So those are 2 quarterbacks I like. So, Trent, same question to you. What do you think best player and best quarterback in the draft is?
So, best player. Okay, I'll put it in this. If I was a GM and I wasn't needing a quarterback, and I was trying to figure out the best player, I would first look at the player, as far as what player has the least amount of bust potential. Does that make sense? Somebody
that makes sense.
That's going to come in and be a good player. May not be just an all-pro player every year. Every year he steps in the league, but a player that's going to contribute and be a good player. So there's a couple names I've been following the draft and following Matt Mayock and just a couple different guys like Joel Clatton. But a couple names that just don't get talked about as far as being good players because they're not like a running back or a quarterback is Bradley Chubb, the defensive end.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Quentin Nelson, he's a guard from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And then you got Minkah Fitzpatrick and Denzel Ward. those 4 guys, they're saying, are going to come in and be like stars right away. They have the least amount of like bust potential. Now, the quarterback, I would say Sam Darnold's probably the best quarterback. He just has like a winner's attitude. He just kind of keeps his head down, mouth shut, and he's a gritty player. And I think he'd fit in. Like, he'd be a great fit for the Browns. I'm not like you, Brown. I'm not sold on Josh Allen at all. I don't see he had an in for an arm, but so did Jamarcus Russell. I mean,
exactly.
The dude's
that didn't work out too well.
Under 60, it's like 56% for his career. He averaged 167 yards per game. Like,
that's bad. That's really terrible.
Bad. Yeah. And then Josh Rosen, he's a good player. He's a tough guy. His problem is he's so tough he gets himself hurt though. Like, he hangs in the pocket, takes these shots, and so he's always injury prone. But I think Baker Mayfield could be a good player too. But I'll probably go with Sam Darnold, the best quarterback. But the best player I would say is going to be Denzel Ward, cornerback from Ohio State.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow. I haven't heard a lot of talk about Denzel Ward.
Yeah, they're saying he's the best DB in the draft.
Incorrect.
I'll say this. I think if I was picking, I'd probably pick Minka Fitzpatrick, but they're saying Denzel Ward is the truth. Like,
he's great. I was just messing with you. I got to show love for my man Minka.
Yeah. Oh, Minka's a dog too, man. I'd love to have both of them.
Yeah.
I don't think you can go wrong with Saquon. I really don't. I don't see any bust potential in that guy. I think he's by a mile the best player in this draft. I think he's going to be the Ezekiel Elliott for whoever takes him, because he just seems like that kind of player. He can do it all. He's got a good head on his shoulders, it seems like. So
I think Saquon's going to be a great player too. But Joe Klatt was saying something today that really made me think about it. He was talking about the percentage of his runs that were less than 4 yards. Or no, his percentage of runs that were over 4 yards for his whole career. And his percentage is at like 0.46, where all the other running backs that are considered like top dogs in the draft are over 50%.
Wow.
So then you were like, okay, he might be a home run hitter. And so then they look at percentage of runs that are over 10 yards, and he was sitting at 13%, like 13%, I think. Whereas all the other running backs are sitting at 15%.
Wow.
Which, I mean, that's just a crazy stat, but it kind of sits there, it makes you think about it.
I'll tell you what, they call you Stat Sansom for a reason. You've always got some good stuff for us. But, all right, Hunter, I'll ask you something else. If you're the Browns, who are you taking number one?
Oh, man, I'm taking a quarterback number one. And, see, I kind of want to think, like Trent said, like which quarterback has the least bust potential. But I don't know, because Sam Darnold turned the ball over, 22 times this past year?
A lot, yeah.
Like, that won't play in the NFL. I don't care how good you throw the ball. If you turn it over that much, then that's not okay. Josh Allen is – now, granted, he was playing at Wyoming with very below-average receivers in the cold. So that's one reason his completion percentage is so low. But that's not the whole reason, Like, so I don't know. I don't really trust his accuracy. Josh Rosen, when the season was over, I find this funny. When the season was over, he was projected number one overall. There were no questions. Like, he was the most pro ready. Now, after the combine, after everybody talks about his, demeanor, his personality, whatever you want to call it, he's like, well, I don't even know if he's going to make a good pro. That's the talk about Josh Rosen. So I don't know what to think about him. I personally, I thought he was the best quarterback when the season ended. And I think, honestly, this sounds stupid. I think Baker may have the least bust potential.
I would agree with that.
Just because
really?
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like you know what you're getting. Like, I think he played the most consistent football for 2 years. He threw what? Like, I can't even remember. It was a stupid small number of interceptions for the 2 years at Oklahoma. Yeah. And I know it's Big 12 defenses, but I mean, just Sam Darnold played in the Pac-12 and turned over 20-something times. The Pac-12 defenses are horrible. Pac-12 everything is horrible.
Yeah, Pac-12.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear about how you hold Baker's Big 12 defenses against him, but yet Sam Darnold can turn it over 20-something times in the Pac-12 and get away with it. Like, I don't understand
I'm glad
that.
you brought that up. I'm glad you said that, man, because Big 12 gets beat up for their defense, given their defenses aren't very good. But the Pac-12 defenses are horrendous.
Yeah, the Pac-12 defense don't get blown up much because the Pac-12 offenses suck too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the
Like
thing,
the
man.
Big 12s at least have good offenses to make them to expose the bad defenses.
Yeah.
But
The
that's
Pac-12,
another.
I saw something in all the bowl games, like all the extra playoff games, including basketball and football, this year, the Pac-12 had one winning team, and it was Utah in their bowl game.
Wow.
Their basketball teams
Yeah.
didn't win either, and
They-
any football team didn't win outside of Utah.
They went 1-8 in bowl games, and no
You're-
team made it outside of the round of 64 in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
That's
basketball.
brutal.
Isn't that bad?
That's real bad. But my thing with Sam Darnold is I think he's going to get a year to kind of sit and learn because I think the Browns are going to roll with Tyrod
Yeah. I think
Taylor
so.
for this first year. So I
And-
think that'll be the best for him.
Yeah.
And then I think he could be a breakout star.
Yeah,
I
I think
think-
so too. But
To me, I think Josh Allen just screams bust. I mean, I don't see it with him. Mel Kiper's got him going number one to the Browns right
see,
now.
it's funny you talk about how Rosen reminds you of Cutler. See, I see the Cutler comparison more with Josh Allen because Cutler, everybody gives him a chance because he's just got a cannon, but the dude just flat out can't play football.
See,
Like,
now,
he just
he's a good
What's that?
player. He doesn't care enough, I think.
Yeah, I'm talking about more like the personality wise.
Yeah, that
between
makes
Cutler
sense.
and Rosen.
But you see the football comparison too, because like he's got
Oh,
an
yeah.
arm, but for whatever reason, the guy just can't win football games. Like he just doesn't make enough plays. But to answer your question, sorry, if I'm the Browns, heck, I don't even know. I don't know what I just talked myself into. I don't know. I'm not picking Baker number one overall, so I have no answer to that question. But I guess I go with Sam Darnold because I think he has the most upside if he can tighten up the turnovers. He sits for a year behind Tyrod Taylor, which isn't the best person to sit behind, but it's better. It's good for Cleveland. And then you pray to the good Lord that Saquon Barkley's still there at 4, which I think he will be if the
He will
Giants
be.
are if the Giants are smart at all, they'll take a quarterback because Eli's not getting any younger. The Jets at 3 will take a quarterback for sure. And then Cleveland takes Saquon at 4, and they may actually have a decent football team next year. Like they could win like 5 or 6 games next year.
I agree with that.
I mean, they got Jarvis Landry,
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor. They could draft Saquon. They got another decent trade or free agent pickup. I can't remember what it was.
They got a good cornerback from Green Bay, that Demarius Randall guy.
Yes,
Their
that's what I'm
defense
thinking
is
of.
solid.
Yeah,
But-
and
Hey,
what's
up,
up?
sorry.
bud?
Oh, y'all heard it here first. The Browns are going to win 8 games next year.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
bold
a
there.
little aggressive.
That's
Alrighty.
bold.
That should be Trent's out of left field take right there.
That's mine. I took it out of Sansom's book.
Hey, the Browns might take OBJ. They might go ahead and trade for Odell.
Yeah. They'd have to give up first pick in the draft to get him. I don't see him doing that.
They may
No,
get
heck no.
fourth pick.
But while we're on the NFL, I want to just touch on the Rams real quick. Man, what a roster they're building this offseason.
Yeah, they're building the super team. This is the NFL version of a super team.
I mean, they are loading up. And if
Yeah.
they get Odell, oh my goodness,
See,
watch out.
The fact that they got Brandon Cooks shows me they're not going after Odell because they
don't
already
want
gave up.
Odell.
No, they gave up a first rounder for Brandon Cooks. There's no way they give up 2 more for Odell, which is what the Giants are wanting. So
Yeah.
I don't see that. But I see what you're saying, though. I mean, like their defense is going to be incredible.
Oh,
And then
man.
they already had the highest scoring offense in the league last year, and then you add Brandon Cooks. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
they're a legitimate contender.
Think about this. You got Aaron Donald and the Donegan Sioux.
Yeah, right
Coming
next to
at
each
you.
other. Yeah.
Wow.
Who do you
That
double team?
is- Oh, man, that just hit me. Those two
Yeah.
guys on the other side
With
of the
those
ball.
two guys on the inside of the line, I'm pretty sure I could get pressure if I'm playing defensive
And
end.
then you got Talib and Marcus Peters.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot about that.
They're so
Oh,
good.
Down
my
City.
gosh. Man,
And then
freaking producer Pete could coach that team this next year.
yeah. But I heard that they're not even looking at Odell because
Yeah, they don't have enough first-round picks for that.
I don't
They're
think
good
Odell
picks.
gets
they don't
moved.
want him. Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They don't want Odell because they said they vetted him and they said he's like think about this. So they took people like did they take Michael? No, Philly got Michael Bennett. Marcus Peter comes with some off the field issues, and so does Ndamukong Suh
And Aqib Talib.
and Aqib
Yeah.
Talib. Taking these guys that are kind of like this big
Personalities.
Well, they said they vetted OBJ and they're not like pursuing anymore because he parties way too much.
Right.
And so like if they're taking Marcus Peters to leave and Ndamukong Suh and they're not taking Odell, Odell
That
must
says
be
something about
great.
Odell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he wants too much money.
Yeah, so the thing about it is, once you give up basically your entire draft stock for the next 2 years for Odell, then you have to turn around and give him $20 million a year.
Exactly. I would
So-
never give up my future for a wide receiver. Ever.
No,
Never.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. And I don't. That's why I don't think anybody takes him, because it'd be one thing if he was locked into a 4 or 5 year deal where you didn't have to break the bank for him right now. Then I could understand giving up a first and a third or a first and a second for him, because he's an incredible wide receiver. I mean, he's, I don't know, top 3 wide receiver in the league. I think we can all
Yeah.
agree on that.
Yeah, he
And
is.
and I think, I mean, I would give that up if his contract were reasonable, but I'm not going to give up 2 first rounders and then turn around and give him $20 million a year. That's just stupid.
Oh, he's not worth 2 first rounders. He's not
No,
worth
no wide
third
receiver.
in my
is.
opinion.
No.
I think he's
Right.
so overrated. I'm sorry.
You think he's overrated?
I think he's so overrated. I don't know what. It could just be confirmation, but I just think he just pisses me off for some reason.
Well, all right,
Yes.
guys, we gotta move on to our Power Five. We're running short on time, so we're gonna run through our Power Five real quick, and then we'll get to the end, the big time, the Masters preview. Because the Masters is tomorrow, and I can't wait. But Hunter, I'll let you start our Power Five celebrities that you would like to sit with on a flight, and athletes are not included.
Okay. My number 5, I'm going to go Tom Cruise, because he's kind of weird. No, he's really weird. And I don't know, he's a Scientologist? I don't know. I'd like to pick his brain. Be like, all right, dude, why do you think the way you do? I think that'd be
Yeah.
really interesting.
That would be interesting.
Number 4, Kenny Chesney.
Go.
Yeah, he's the man. It's that simple. Number 3, Tom Hanks. I think it'd be cool to talk to him just about like all of the different roles he's played. I mean, he's played everybody. Like Forrest Gump, he was the main dude in Saving Private Ryan. I mean, the dude was in the Polar Express. I mean, come on. Then number 2, George Strait.
Ooh, good one there.
Probably I don't know if I'd put him up at the top of my list for favorite artist of all time, but he's up there. He just seems like a cool guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then number 1, this didn't have much question with me, George W. Bush.
Oh
Oh,
man, that's a heck
W
of a
is
list.
the man.
I'm
All right.
I'm not going after that list. So Trent, I'll let you go ahead and give me your
Yeah.
Power Five.
Top that.
oh man.
That's brutal
I
there.
don't have-
Wow, that was stout.
I don't have any particular order 5 through 2, but so I'll go with Matthew McConaughey. He's just
Oh, good one.
he's from
Yeah,
East Texas.
solid.
I would love to sit there and talk to him. Hunter, I'll go ahead and get the 2 that you said. George Strait and George Bush are both on my list.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then y'all are not going to accept this one, but I had originally put down Tom Herman because he's not an athlete. But he
No,
is.
yeah, that's fair.
Oh, it's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's
I'll-
fair.
We could do coaches?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Those
man.
aren't athletes.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I took sports out of it altogether when you said that. My bad. I'd have put Coach K up there in one of my spots.
Yeah, that'd have been a good one.
I put Tom Herman, and then I was going to put Colin Cowherd just because I could. Cause I would love to talk to him and be like, there's just so much stuff I want to ask the herd. Like,
Yeah, I want to ask him, like, are you that stupid? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, do you actually believe all of the things that you say?
No, exactly, guys. I would. Y'all need to go back and look up today's segment because Joel Klatt just roasted him to death.
Really?
Oh yes. You know how he dogs on Russell Westbrook, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he does that to Baker Mayfield, and Joel Klatt just, absolutely put him in the ground. There's no coming back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I like the herd. I think it's I don't know. It's interesting. It makes you think because he's so opinionated. But man,
Yeah.
just
That's what I'm saying.
sometimes he says the dumbest things.
Dumbest stuff. Like, he has some great takes, and he's so interesting. I have to listen to him every day. But Hunter, you're exactly right. He just says some stuff that makes you just want to like put your head through a wall. Like,
Yes. And you're like, Colin, what are you doing, man? Like, that couldn't be more false.
because he just takes. I'm not even gonna get a move, but he just takes like all the stuff about Russell, and then ignores the good stuff, and then he takes all the stuff about LeBron and ignores the bad stuff.
Yeah.
And he always talks about both of them on every show, and it just wears me out.
Is that your number one, Trent? Colin Cowherd?
No, he's not on there. I was gonna put him as a Tom Hurd.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention, but my number one is Denzel Washington.
Oh, solid.
You mean Herman Boone?
Yes.
Oh, no, baby.
All right, Cud, give me your power five.
All right. At number 5, I have Johnny Depp. Just because, like, I've always liked how his acting in the different movies, and he, like you said, Hunter, for your guy, I forgot who you were talking about.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, who was the guy you said that was strange?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Johnny
Yes,
Depp,
different Tom.
Johnny Depp is out there, so I
Yes.
thought he'd be pretty interesting. And at 4, we have the GOAT, Matt LeBlanc, Joey from Friends.
Oh.
Yes. And then number 3, I have Dave Chappelle, just because he's freaking hilarious.
He's
And
hilarious.
And he barely does like any stand-up stuff now, so I thought he'd be pretty funny to just sit and talk to. And number 2, we got George W., the man.
That's right.
And then number 1, we got Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah, that'd be solid.
I half expected the Eminem at number 1.
No.
Eminem's too weird for. I thought for sure he'd be on your list, Mason.
I didn't put him on here because he probably wouldn't want to talk to me for hours.
Yeah, he's a strange guy. But
yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna get roasted for my list, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you have it. Number 5, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's an athlete.
Oh, that is an athlete.
You bum. That was your rule.
That's not. Oh yeah, whatever.
I would like to come in real quick.
You're
Stone
allowed
Cold
to
is
go.
now an actor. He's
Move
not
on
an
to the
athlete.
Next segment.
Yeah, he's an actor. That's acting.
Bull.
He's an athlete.
He's the GOAT.
The Rock would count because he's no longer a wrestler. He's an athlete, so Stone Cold would count too.
Okay, fine. Let me start over. All right,
you gotta
that's
start
a
over.
bogey on my part. I apologize. Jesus.
You're one
All
over
right.
as a host.
Okay. Okay, I got number 5, Mark Wahlberg. He's done it all. Music, acting. He'd be cool to talk to. Number 4, I got Kenny Chesney, the GOAT. And I can convince him to sing the good stuff at his next
Oh
concert
my
because
gosh, yes.
he needs to get on the ball with that. And number 3, I got Coach K. How much wisdom does that guy have?
Yeah.
Probably could learn a lot from that dude. Number 2, Jim Nance. I thought he might be on your list.
Oh,
Hunter.
yeah.
I'd love to
I
hear
didn't think about Jim Nance.
Hear some stories about Jim Nance. How good is that guy's life? Final
Wow.
Four this weekend, Augusta this coming weekend. That's perfect. And then number 1, that's a given, George W. Bush. He's
That's
the
right.
goat of all goats. I'd love to talk to that guy, but I don't know. I butchered my Power 5.
Stone Cold Steve. Are you kidding me?
He'd be awesome to talk to, though.
He's an athlete, though.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. We're moving on.
If
All right.
athletes were involved, Tiger would have been my 5 through number 1. So
Bitch,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
Tiger wouldn't talk to you though, Hunter. He's a pretty quiet guy too. I wouldn't want to talk to Tiger.
I just want to look at him the whole time. I'm like, wow, I'm just sitting next to the best golfer to ever live. Holy cow!
All right. Well, speaking of golf, it's Masters weekend, and I want to
Wait,
start
hold on.
with
Will you just say that one more time?
it is Masters weekend. So I want to start right out of the gates with a hot topic: Tiger Woods. Trent, I know you're anti-Tiger for us. So Tiger Woods, Trent, does he have a chance to win this weekend?
First off, I'm not anti-Tiger.
Oh, yes, you are.
No, listen. I would love, just like Clay could, I would love to see a Tiger win. That'd be awesome.
No,
That'd be
you
great
wouldn't.
for the sport of golf. But,
Because if he wins, you're going to hear it from me, and you're not going to pull for him.
no, I'll pull for Tiger. My thing is, it's the same way Cud goes about it. Every time he plays in a tournament, both of y'all goobers, Tiger's going to win this for sure. He's back this tournament. And he ain't never sniffed being back.
That's not true.
wears
He lost
me out.
by one shot 3 weeks ago.
I don't care. It's not winning. I want to see him win. I'm not saying that's not good golf. I'm not saying it at all. I'm just saying every time he plays in a tournament, he's going to win this one. He ain't won. He had a good year in 2013, but outside of that, he's been not that great for the last 8 years.
Hey, hold on. Realize what you just said here. He won 5 times in 2013, was the number 1 player in the world, player of the year on the PGA Tour. But other than that, he hadn't done anything. You kidding me? That's like saying, well, Villanova won twice. But other than that, they hadn't really done much in the last 5 years.
Well, let me correct myself. In the since 2013, he ain't done squat. And every time we've had a tournament, y'all have been like, he's going to win.
No, that's
And
just
he
been
ain't
this year.
won. No.
This year.
Yeah.
Well, I would hope.
Hey,
I hope
Goop,
so.
answer my question.
What?
Does he have a chance this weekend?
He's playing good. He's playing great golf right now. He has a big chance.
Okay,
Now,
Cam.
I do
I
have
gotta
a bet
defend
saying that
myself.
he ain't going to finish inside the top 10, though.
I got to
He's
defend
finished in the
myself
top 10. All right, go ahead.
So Trent, I'm gonna explain to you why we are on the bandwagon. Why every week we think he's gonna win. So these are his finishes coming into the Masters. So he finished 10th at the Hero in December. Okay, a small field, that one doesn't really count. He finished 23rd at what?
Weren't there like 16 players?
There were 18, but small field.
Small field.
Finished 23rd at Torrey Pines. Brutal golf course, first full field event back. It's a solid finish, 23rd place, okay? Missed a cut at Riviera, bad week. Goes to the Honda the next week, finishes 12th place, and led the field in proximity to the holes. Irons are getting better. Goes to the Valspar, 2 weeks later? Maybe?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2 weeks later. Finishes second, loses by a shot, and then goes to Bay Hill the next week at Arnie's tournament, finishes 5th. So his last 3 tournaments are T12, T2, and T5. And like if you take the name off of that resume, you're thinking, man, that guy's trending in the right direction heading into Augusta. Like, man, he's got a real shot.
All right.
You know what I mean? So that's and I'm looking at this right now. So his scoring average this year so far on the PGA Tour is 69.47. That's fifth. That's 5th on tour. And he only plays the tough courses. The tournaments that he's played have only been at the difficult golf courses. Like, he doesn't go play the John Deere. He doesn't go play the courses where 23, 24 under par win. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I'm not guaranteeing a victory, but I would be shocked if he was not in contention at some point during the tournament.
I guarantee you Tiger will be in contention this week.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
He's played 18 Masters as a professional, Trent. He's finished top 10 13 times.
Yeah.
Hunter, I got a Tiger stat for you.
Oh, give it to me.
Two of them for you. One, he's 100 under in his Masters career.
Okay, it's gonna be 101 come tomorrow morning, but
I've got a better one for you. I think I saw a stat where him, Freddie Couples, and Phil are like 400 under par in their career on the par 5s, and Tiger's like 162 under or something.
that's so low.
Something stupid low on the par 5s in his career. So, all right, well, I'll get to you, Cut. I know you're with Trent on the anti-Tiger bandwagon. So does Tiger have a chance this week? I'm talking to Cut here.
Oh my God.
Well, yes, Sansom was right. Hell, y'all talk about Tiger like he's coming out of the clouds every week and gonna win.
Every week.
But it is set up perfectly for him to win this tournament. Or even if he doesn't win, like y'all were saying, he's gonna be in contention. It's just set up perfectly in the way. Like, I watched a couple of interviews today when they were talking to him, and it sounds like he's ready and he can't wait to get out there. But I don't think I'm not like, it's not that I don't want Tiger to win. I think I do think it'd be good for the sport of golf and for sure Tiger Woods. But I think that just as much of a chance to win as Tiger does, I think Phil does. And he just won his last tournament in Mexico, 16 under in a playoff with the man Justin Thomas. So I think Phil's playing pretty good golf, and I like my guy Justin Thomas's odds this tournament too.
So what's y'all's position on Tiger? Because y'all get on us for saying that he's going to win, and then the both of you turn around and say, no, he's got a pretty good chance to win this week.
No, it's because we don't say it every week. It's because we don't say it, every week for the last 5 years, every time he plays, he's back.
Yeah.
Okay,
I haven't said that.
Okay, no, well, let's tap the brakes here. What?
Tiger
Every
had
week,
played 2 of
Tiger
those
is
years.
brought up. Every time Tiger's brought up or he's playing in the tournament, y'all are always blowing it out of proportion, talking about, oh, he's back, he's going to win. And I'm not saying that you have to win to play good golf. I mean, being inside the top 15, I think is probably good golf the most. Like if you're playing in the big field.
Very good.
Yeah, and I know he's playing good golf right now, and I know he played good golf in 2013. And I'm pretty sure he played pretty good at the Masters in 15. I think he went tied 4th.
No, he finished 17.
Yeah, 17.
17?
In 2015. But
He
still
had a bad Sunday. He was in the third to last group on Sunday and then played bad.
Well, yeah,
Still solid.
Yeah, okay, but basically, I mean, he has. I just want to see him win before I'm all in about Tiger's back.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't. So
I know it's a great year in 2013. I'm just talking about the last 5 years.
So he's
that's,
not.
That's fair.
He's not back to what he was in the early 2000s, and he never will be.
That'll
Nobody
never
ever
happen.
will be.
No.
Nobody will be. But I do think he's back to being one of the best players in the world. And oh gosh, okay. So I was talking to somebody the other day. Cameron, I'm going to ask you this question: If somebody holds a gun to your head and says, "Will Tiger Woods ever be a top 10 player in the world again?" Yes or no? You get it wrong, I pull the trigger. What are you going with?
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree. I think so. Like, if the guy can stay healthy, I find it really, really hard to believe that he doesn't win at least another major.
His short game is just as good as it ever has been.
Yes.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So take that same variation of a question and say, I have a gun to your head. If you get it wrong, I'm pulling the trigger. Will Tiger win another major?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I would go with yes.
Okay,
really
let me tell you guys this. Tiger's 42 years old, okay? He was clocked swinging the club at, I think, the Honda at 129 miles an hour. That's faster than anybody on the PGA Tour. He's 42 years old. He's got top 10 the last 2 events he's played.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of good golf left in him, especially if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Swinging the club that fast at that age, I mean, that tells me Tiger's got 10 more years left where he can compete in a major.
I think so. Heck, Jack Nicklaus almost won the Masters at the age of 58. Tom Watson almost won the British. Tom Watson should have won the British in 2009 when he was 59 years old.
And those guys are nowhere near the athlete Tiger
No,
is.
Tiger is a specimen. If his back holds up, then, man, that's just too many majors for him to lose. Because, you got to think he's going to be competitive for at least another 10 years if he stays healthy. That's 40 majors.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm going yes. Trent, what do you go? What's your answer to that? Gun to your head, does he win another major?
Okay, before I answer me, I just want to ask one more question. How many majors has he won since in the last 10 years?
Tiger's won 0. He's won 1 major since 2008 was his last major.
Yes.
That was the year he got caught cheating on his wife?
2009 was
like
the year he got caught
2009,
cheating on his wife.
It's been 10 years. But answer the
But
question.
but he's also been hurt on and off the whole time.
I think a lot of that hurt too has a lot to do with his mental state.
That's very true,
man.
But
I
hey,
don't know, man.
I agree with that 100%.
I don't think we can sit here and speculate on some dude's mental state. I don't know. I don't think you can use that as an argument.
Well, he just sure has been hurt quite a bit. I feel like, has it always been his back? I feel like it's been his.
No,
he tore his ACL in 2008.
Yeah, tore his ACL, his back, his Achilles ruptured.
He's been banged up. He's had a lot of problems.
We talk about him staying healthy like it's a small if. No, that's a big if he can stay healthy. But if the guy can stay healthy, I have no doubt he'll win another major.
All right, Trent, one more answer is: do you think he wins another major? That's what I want to hear.
We'll say, Hunter won me over. I'll say he'll win another major.
That's right, son.
Mason, will he win another major?
Okay. Look, both of y'all, you, Cameron and Hunter, y'all both answered that question on a bunch of ifs.
No, I said yes. Hunter said
Yeah,
yes.
if-
Trent said yes.
if-
So I'm asking you.
Yeah. If he stays healthy, which he hasn't been. So I mean, will he win again?
A
If
major.
at minimum
A
we're
major.
giving
He'll
him,
win
you
again.
said 10 more years.
I mean, I'm
him-
saying he's got 10 more years of competitive golf in him.
Yeah, and you said that's 40 majors.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give him another major win.
So
Oh.
Cut, honestly, like I know he'll stay healthy through this weekend, and there's a dang good chance he's going to win this Masters. So, like, I have no doubt he's going to be healthy come Sunday night, and he may just be wearing a green jacket. So that may just go ahead and answer the question right
yes. Sunday, the question will be answered. He'll have a major by then.
there.
So,
I
you know.
God.
All right. All right, let's get to some Masters picks here. You got anything else to say, Trent?
I will say my yes would be a very shaky yes. I would have, it'd be a lot of hesitation.
and it's
Me
it's
too,
not
Trent.
like my yes isn't a 100% without a doubt yes, but it's not a knock against Tiger. It's just how good everybody else is now, and how
That's
hard
true.
it is to win a golf
That's a
tournament.
whole other reason I think it's gonna be
That's a
hard.
very good
yes,
point.
yes, and but Trent, that's not a knock on Tiger though. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
there's
no,
a
I agree. But that's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
it's-
though. There's
it's
so many-
just dang hard. It's really hard to win
There's-
out there, and
There's so many good players right now. This
Oh,
Masters is going to be unreal. I mean, there are so many different guys that can win this golf tournament that are elite players.
Exactly. 100. See, now, if you ask me this question, say this happened, and say we're sitting in like the early 2000s, and against that again, I don't know that many players back then, but I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, there's better players now than in the
yes,
2000s.
no doubt. The
Agreed.
top tier is much larger now because
Yeah.
I mean if you had to throw out 6 or 7 names of guys who are elite, like best players in the world, you could do that with no trouble. And
Easily.
there weren't that many just straight up elite golfers 10 years ago. There really weren't. I mean, good Lord, Padraig Harrington won 2 majors in a row in 2007, I think, or 2008
Sheesh.
maybe. I mean, just come on, yeah.
See, that's probably one of my points for him not winning one again. Like as far as like the reason I'd have a hard time saying, oh, for sure he will, just because it's
Mhm.
like you got DJ, you got Justin Thomas, you got Fowler, you got Rory, you got Spieth. I mean, there's just so many so many guys. You got John Rahm. I mean, there's just so
Yeah.
many.
Yeah, John Rahm's the third ranked player in the world, I think, and nobody's talking about him coming in this Masters just
That's
because
crazy
of
to
all the
me.
storylines.
That's
But-
absolutely crazy.
All right, Cam, I got a question for you.
All right.
So I'm going to give you 4 people to pick, and you have to take those 4 against the field. Who you going with?
Oh man, Jordan Spieth, he owns
Okay.
the Masters.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Jordan. Man, that's brutal. Jordan, Tiger, Dustin Johnson. Man, I've been off the DJ bandwagon all week, but no one's talking about him. He's the number 1 player in the world, and he's getting there's no buzz for him coming in this week. Which,
Mhm.
I mean, somebody said, I read a tweet today, like this golf course is like a par 69 for DJ. So I mean, if he shoots even all 4 days, I mean,
He's
just
going to
because
be right there.
he can overpower any golf course he plays.
Uh-huh.
So, and then my 4th guy. Oh man, that's brutal. I'm gonna go with. Man, I'm really big on the Paul Casey bandwagon this week, but I'd have to go with Rory probably.
Okay, that's fair.
I think Rory, he's due. He's playing well right now. He's putting the best I've ever seen him putt. So I hate to be a super mainstream top 4 for you there, but if
Okay,
I
that
had
makes
to
sense.
go,
That
I'd
makes
have to
sense.
go with that. I'd have to go with that 4.
That
Well,
makes
Same
sense.
question back to you. What do you think?
So I should have prepared an answer for my own question. I'm thinking, so it seems like every year the same guys tend to play well at Augusta. So I'm going to go straight off of experience and who tends to play well year in and year out. So I'm going Tiger and Phil because they have 7 combined green jackets and they're both trending in the right direction. I'm going Jordan Spieth because I don't think he's finished outside the top 5 and he's played 4 Masters. So he clearly knows how to play golf there. And then I'm going to go Justin Rose because
Oh,
been in-
Rose, good pick.
he's been in contention literally every year.
Yeah.
And then he lost in a playoff last year to Sergio. He's playing great golf right now. I think I don't know, man. I would be completely shocked if he didn't finish top 10.
All right, Hunter, give me a sleeper pick, and then we'll get everybody's picks, and we got to get out of here. So give me a sleeper for this Masters. What do you think?
Okay, how sleeper are we talking here?
I'm talking deep sleeper, like
Deep sleeper?
There's 87 guys in the field. I want a guy outside like the top 45 that has a chance to win the golf tournament.
This guy isn't that big of a sleeper, but look out for Mark Leishman. He's another one of those guys that always plays well at Augusta.
He does play good out there.
Yeah. Man, Bryson DeChambeau is one to look out for. He played well there 2 years ago as an AM, and the way that he thinks kind of matches Augusta. It's a lot of creativity and a lot of imagination. Yeah. But my deepest sleeper, the deepest that I'll ever go, is the amateur Joaquin Niemann.
I figured that's what you'd say.
Yeah.
That kid's a stud, man.
He's so good. I mean, he's so good. It's stupid how good this kid is. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you can predict how an amateur will play under that pressure at Augusta, but that's my deepest of sleepers.
Yeah, that kid's really good. That's a solid pick. So, all right, Cut, I'll start with you. Give me your pick for the Masters this week.
My pick or deep sleeper pick?
You can go a deep sleeper as well, but give me a sleeper if you got one.
Deep sleeper has got to be the Matt Barzilli, the firefighter man.
That's as deep gets.
If that guy wins, I'll eat my hat.
Yes, if he wins, everybody knows it. I called it here. And then
the call of the century.
My realistic one, I guess. I think I'm gonna go with the man Justin Thomas.
He's gonna win a green jacket at some point, for sure. I think. Mm-hmm. And he's having one heck of a year. I mean, he's the hottest guy on the planet right now. So, all right, Trent. What about you? Give me a pick for this week.
George Spieth.
Yeah, that's as safe gets, man. That's a heck of a pick.
Hold on.
You cannot go wrong with picking Jordan Spieth out there. He owns that golf course.
And then let me give you a sleeper.
All right, let's hear it.
Ian Woosnam.
Oh,
what? Do you even know who that is?
He looked up the ranking list. What'd you do? You look up the ranking list, Trent?
Yeah.
He's dead last, isn't he?
Yeah, he's dead last. He's for 87. Hey, he won in 1991. It says poor Roosie hasn't made a cut since 2008.
Man.
That's as out of left field Trent as it gets, pal. All right, Hunter, go ahead. Give me a pick.
All right, I'm gonna get dogged for this, but this is not picking with the heart.
I'm riding with you. Go ahead.
This is legit. I'm picking Eldrick.
I'm riding
Tiger
with you.
Woods.
Say it one more time.
Eldrick, baby. I'm taking him.
I'm riding with you.
Everything leads up to him winning this Masters. He's the happiest he's ever been, and I think that is really important in playing at a tournament like this. He knows this place better than literally anybody except for Jack Nicklaus, and Jack's not playing anymore, obviously. And his game's in the right spot. He's putting with old trusty Scotty Cameron again. He's doing it. This is the week, and I'm going to cry tears on Sunday night when he puts on that green jacket.
I'm riding with you, Hunter. I mean, we're talking about him all year, so we got to keep rolling with him.
That's right.
I mean,
Trent, this is – you staple this to the wall. I am picking Tiger Woods to win. This is not me being like, oh, he's winning. He's going to win this week. This is legit. This is my expert opinion. Tiger Woods is going to win the Masters this year.
I love it.
A question before we go. One question.
All right, let's hear it.
What happens? What are you going to say if he didn't make the cut? I don't think that's.
I'll say. I mean, I'm going to say golf is hard. You can't really predict down to a science. I mean, that's like trying to predict the Super Bowl winner before the season starts.
Tiger's
so many things happen.
This week.
He won't miss the cut.
I'll tell you what, Trent. Next week when we do our pod, I will admit I'm a clown and I'm wrong. If Tiger doesn't make the cut this week.
I'm not saying that. I think so. Honestly, I have a bet with Cash that for $10 saying he won't finish inside the top 10. But I think I'm pretty sure I'll lose the $10, which is fine.
Yeah, because so much of that place is about experience, you
Right.
know? Like, because they go there every single year, and everybody that talks about it talks about how it's so tricky, and there's so many things that you don't see until you play it 20 or 30 times. And he has the experience, and his game is actually there to go with it, man. I would be completely shocked if he missed the cut. I think I'd be more surprised if he missed the cut than anybody in the field.
No, I agree.
Oh, I would too. Yeah.
It's gonna be so much fun to watch. I can't wait for tomorrow. This golf tournament's gonna be fantastic. But one last thing before I go, I want to give a quick shout out to Robert Griffin III. RG3's back in the NFL.
That's right.
Ravens
Bears,
signed,
baby.
the Ravens signed him today, so good for him.
Joe
Hopefully he does well.
Look out, Flacco.
RG3's coming for his job. Hey, he's the last quarterback that's won a game for the Cleveland Browns. Just saying. So, but all right, it was a pleasure, boys. Glad to be back. 903 Sports. We'll see you guys next time.